So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Shal Gulati, and I will be your host for today. So, a quick brief about me. I have about 6.5 years of work experience across consulting, supply chain, and financial services, having worked at Deloitte, Zomato Hyperpure, and American Express. Currently, I'm pursuing my MBA at XLRI Jamshedpur. And so, before we actually start this podcast, I have to tell you that as soon as I got to know about your background, I almost instantly wanted to sign up for this podcast. And that's essentially because of the background that we share.
Of course.
Your career across financial services and logistics are the two very domains that, I've also had a chance to work in during my time at American Express and Zomato Hyperpure.
Great.
So for me personally, I'm definitely very excited for this conversation. And yes, with this, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Vivek Wadhera, Managing Director and CEO at Orix India. With over 2 decades of experience across financial services, banking, logistics, and telecom, Mr. Wadhera has played a pivotal role in fundraising, M&A, FinTech, and new business launches. Under his leadership, Orix India has emerged as a key player in mobility solutions, leasing, and innovative financing. Mr. Wadhera, welcome to XLRI, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you very much.
Yes. So, sir, I just thought, before we get into the main podcast, it would be a good idea to have a short rapid fire round just to sort of break the ice and set the tone for this podcast.
Done.
So we can just we can start with that.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Cool. Perfect. So here goes the first question. One book or resource that you think everyone in finance or business field should read?
Actually, there are two. Okay. My favorite for a very long time was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, of course.
And one should read it at the beginning of their careers because it gives you a lot of perspective about money.
Right.
The second one that I read a few years back is a book called Psychology of Money.
Right. Okay.
I think both these books actually teach you which any form of education will never teach you about money, because all of us have a very, very different relationship with money.
Right. That's true.
And this book, these actually two books gives you a very, very different perspective on that. So I think both of them are very interesting.
Absolutely, sir. Both of them being on money, those are definitely going on my reading list. Okay, next. One leadership mantra you swear by in tough times.
I think, and I actually firmly believe that the character of a leader gets only displayed during the stress times.
That's true.
Because when the times are good, everything is hunky-dory.
That's true, yes.
But we have to understand that whether we are in the corporate life or anything else, so shit happens all the time.
Yes.
And how you deal with that shit makes you a leader that you are. So I think it only gets displayed during the stress times. Otherwise, it's all good.
100%, sir. I think that was very well put. Okay, now this is an interesting one. Work from home or work from office? What do you personally prefer?
I am a complete work from office person.
Okay.
And I do it personally myself also.
Right.
And my thought is that you can learn the technical skills easily sitting at home.
Right.
But when you get the training basically on the ground, working with your colleagues or kind of collaborating with your colleagues, that part gets missed during the work from home. No. So I am a very staunch believer of work from office.
Oh, that's actually very good. So even during my last job, initially we were doing twice a week in office, and the moment that it got shifted from twice to thrice, at least I was happy. Not sure about others, but I was pretty happy about it.
So I do it 5 days a week.
Right. Okay. So traditional banks versus NBFCs. Who understands customer needs better?
I have worked in NBFCs as well as in banks. I think that the NBFCs are much closer to the customer and much more nimble-footed.
Right.
So so they are able to understand the demands of the customer better, and are able to change their kind of processes better than the banks. So I would go with NBFCs.
Right. That's a fair perspective, sir. Right. Okay. The last one. One financial term you think is the most overused in boardrooms?
I won't say the financial terms, while we use a lot of these financial terms like say the profitability, return, etc., etc. I see a lot of jargons getting used in the boardroom.
Right.
Some of them sound fake to me, but things like when the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
let's take a 30,000 feet view.
Right.
Or I'll circle back to you.
Right.
So a lot of jargons that we use, but
Right,
Overuse, I don't know, but yeah, we use it a lot.
That's so true. I couldn't agree more on this. So cool. That was our rapid fire round. It was great. Thank you so much for your candid answers. And that definitely gave us a glimpse into the person you are behind the professional being you are. And I think now we are all set to get into the main podcast,
Sure.
starting with your journey. So, sir, you've had such a diverse career across banking, telecom, logistics, and now financial services. So, looking back, what were the early influences that shaped your path?
Actually, I spent a large part of my career in the financial services space.
Right.
I basically started with, I started with telecom and software when I used to work for Lucent, and then I moved to Citi and then Barclays and Orix.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate
Right.
to work alongside some of the best people in the industry.
Yes.
The best talent used to work at Lucent, the best talent used to work at Citi, Orix, or Barclays.
Right.
And that actually opens up your thought process towards doing something big.
Yes.
Because when you are surrounded by people like that, then you automatically start thinking like them. So I think for me, a very big push was actually working kind of alongside the best of people in the industry, and that was a very big kick for me at that time.
Right, understood, sir. I think those early influences played a key role in shaping the leader that you are today.
Absolutely.
So, but beyond those foundations, were there any like turning points or aha moments in your journey, moments that sort of changed the way you lead and prepared you to take on the role of MD and CEO here at Orix India?
So I think, I am basically a finance guy, and I'm a chartered accountant by profession. And for the first 10 years of my career, I was only doing the finance kind of job, which is things like fundraising, tax, accounting, etc.
Right.
I was fortunate to get a role on the business side pretty early in my career when I was made the business head for one of the large businesses, which was actually a pure play sales role.
Right.
So that I would say was the turning point, because it's very different leading a finance function.
Right.
Versus leading a very, very large business.
Right.
And since I had the experience on basically both the sides,
Right.
that helped me move into the role of the CEO faster.
Right.
So I think the turning point was to have the courage to take up a business role when I knew absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah.
And it was the courage for more than me, for the person who was offering me that role.
Right.
But that is what Citi was.
Yes. No, I have to say that is definitely a very inspiring journey, sir. And now just quickly shifting gears from personal to strategy and growth side of the things. So let's talk about Orix and the industry that you're operating in. So I've seen that vehicle leasing penetration in India is still much lower as compared to developed markets such as Japan or the US. So what do you think are the barriers, and how can companies like Orix bridge this gap?
So you're right that the percentage of vehicle leasing in India will be in the range of 1.5% to 2%.
Okay.
If you look at the Western world, or if you look at Japan, it will be in the range of 25% to 30%. Indians still believe in ownership of asset.
Yes.
That is changing fast with your generation.
Yes.
But even till our generation, the thought process is, I should have a house, I should have a car, etc., etc. But people are now kind of moving from probably the asset acquisition to the experience, part of it, and that will change.
Correct.
India has always been 10-15 years behind in kind of adopting these kind of things.
Right.
But we are getting there fast. But yes, as of now, we are very, very slow in that adoption.
Yeah, no, that is there. So it makes complete sense. And, like on these lines and building on that thought, and I think you also just mentioned that Indian customers are still, they have that mindset of owning the asset.
Yes.
So on these lines, they see vehicle ownership as a status symbol. And how do you convince customers to shift mindset towards leasing and subscription models?
As I said, that it's actually a generational change.
Right.
While we try to tell them benefits, that if you use the car for 3 years and then you can just give the car back to us and you can move on to a bigger car, etc. Ultimately, it is the mindset of the consumer that has to undergo a change, and with people, and with also the younger people coming into the work stream, they are focusing more on experiences, and they are very mobile, so they don't want to own an asset, and hence that shift is kind of happening automatically. We are doing our bit by obviously educating the clients and also telling them the benefit, but I think it's going to be a shift which is going to be much faster than what it was 10 years back pretty soon.
Yeah, that's true. I absolutely agree with you. And so till now we've spoken about vehicles and the future of mobility. I believe this conversation would be incomplete if we do not touch upon the topic of EVs. So, with that, with the rise of EVs, do you see vehicle leasing shifting towards electric fleets faster than retail adoption? And how is Orix really preparing for that?
Okay, so two parts of the question. The vehicle leasing will shift towards EV eventually.
Right.
There is a lot of government push to it. There are a lot of models coming up in the market.
Right.
There are 2-3 things which are very important right now, which one has to understand. The cost of an EV continues to be higher than a normal vehicle right now. So the capex cost continues to be higher, while obviously the operational cost is lower.
Correct.
Secondly, the probability of the technological obsolescence is very high.
Yes.
If you go back 5 years, the life of a battery was 250 kilometers.
Right.
Today it is 550 kilometers.
Yes, that's massive.
So if I try to sell a 5-year-old vehicle today, I get nothing.
Yeah.
So those are the things that actually the market is still grappling with. EV is definitely the future. Whether it happens in the next 5 years or next 10 years is something that we need to watch for, but it is definitely the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very forward-looking approach, I would say. And So, sir, another question that I want to ask, and this question is a bit on the financial services side. So, while mobility and leasing are at the core of Orix, the financial services backbone is equally critical.
Yes.
And having worked at American Express myself, I've seen firsthand as to how digitization is reshaping the financial services domain.
Yes.
So keeping that in mind, how is Orix leveraging fintech and technology to serve customers better?
What used to be a luxury or a hobby 10 years back has become absolutely essential today. Right. So if we don't move on the right track as far as the technology is concerned, both the customer acquisition as well as the customer retention is going to become really difficult.
Yes.
So we have also taken huge steps over the past 7-8 years. So on those lines, the kind of the platform that we use, the kind of interfaces that we give to our clients, the kind of speed that we have to offer to our clients is very different from actually what used to be happen probably 10 years back. And if you ask me, that is because we don't have a choice, or nobody has a choice. I mean, with the way all these fintechs have come into the market, who are giving out loans in 10 seconds, 10 minutes. I'm not saying that is the right thing to do, but you can't take 1 week to disburse a loan also.
That's true. Yes.
So the right answer is somewhere in the middle.
Right.
And Orix is very actively working on that account.
Got it. I mean, that's definitely a very exciting use of technology that Orix is doing. So, but I'm sure, with technology come a lot of challenges as well. And especially in a market like India. So, which naturally brings us to risk management, which is critical for both banks and NBFCs. So, how does Orix manage credit and operational risks in a market as dynamic as India?
Orix has been in India for 30 years now. Okay. And Orix has been there globally for 60 years.
Okay. All right.
We have the experiences of working in the third world countries, in the developed countries, and we have seen 4 or 5 credit cycles in India also.
Right.
I don't know whether we know what is the right thing to do.
Right.
But we definitely know what is not the right thing to do, which is what actually credit is all about.
Yes.
So I think with the kind of experience we have gathered in India over the past 30 years, and also the global experience, that largely puts us in a very, very strong position from the standpoint of actually understanding the risk framework in a developing country. Right. India is very unique. India is very large. India is very diverse. But we have the global experience and also the experience of working in India. So I think we should be okay.
Right, that's true. Absolutely. I mean, that was very well put. And I could relate and resonate with the fact that you said that you know what not to do.
Yes.
That's sort of like a good way to eliminate, like the process of elimination that we follow. If we know what to do, that's great. But
let's be sure of what not to do.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Okay, so we've spoken about the industry, strategy and growth, etc. Before we wrap up, I would love to know your personal insights and advice from your own experience.
Sure.
So, sir, if you could go back and give early career Vivek one piece of advice, what would it be?
I think I should have spread myself wider, much earlier in life.
Okay.
And I should have raised my hand more often when the opportunity arises. Now I can say with a lot of conviction that the organizations, as well as the senior management, like people who take initiative.
Right.
You can continue to do your job well, but as long as you are not raising your hand if a problem comes,
right.
You are not probably, then you are not different from the 100,000 other people working.
Correct.
So I think these two things, that you should try and take much wider experience as early as possible and raise your hand more often. Right. I mean, I should have done that.
I mean, that's such a valuable lesson, sir. I will definitely implement that, and I'm sure like many of us can relate to that already. Right. So for young professionals like us entering finance, logistics and business, what's one mindset shift you think will separate successful leaders of tomorrow from the rest?
Okay. So, I see three very important traits
right.
that would define the future leaders.
Right.
Okay. Innovation, adaptability,
right.
and execution.
Right.
Okay. Innovation is the glamorous part of it.
Right.
Everybody wants to be there. To me,
yes,
the most important is execution.
Right.
Most companies that fail don't fail because of a bad idea.
Right.
They fail because of bad execution.
Correct.
So anybody who wants to get ahead has to work on all three. But to me, the most important thing is execution.
Right.
And we actually miss that because that's boring.
Yeah.
that is bloody boring, but that's very important.
Right.
So that's my take. Yeah.
And that was a great answer. I mean, really resonates with all of us. Finally, sir, what 3 to 4 words should define the next generation of CEOs in your opinion?
So same thing, I think, innovation,
right,
adaptability,
right,
and execution. And I talk about adaptability because the world is changing really fast. I mean, for the first 10 years of my working career,
right,
I did not see a financial crisis. Okay,
wow.
So the first crisis I saw was the 2008 global financial crisis.
Yes.
That screwed the world.
Yes.
Right. In the next 10 years,
right.
we have seen 3.
Yes.
We have seen obviously the South Asian crisis and also a couple of more.
Yeah.
So the pace of change. So what used to change in 20 years is now changing in 5 years.
Right.
And people who are not able to adapt to these change will never be able to actually go ahead. So again, so my 3 points continues to be: number 1, innovation,
right.
number 2, adaptability, and number 3, execution, but definitely not in that order.
Got it. Very, very inspiring way to sum it up, sir.
Thank you.
So that brings us to the end of our podcast, sir. And it's truly been an absolute privilege hearing from you, right from your career journey to the career milestones and Orix's vision for the future.
Thank you.
And your advice to young professionals like me will definitely stay with us. So thank you so much once again for joining us and for such an engaging and insightful session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.